Hello everyone, this is Logan59XP, and welcome back to Road to Splatoon 3, the stream series where we go through the entire Splatoon series up until this point in anticipation of, well, Splatoon 3, which is releasing in about a week or so, looking forward to that. But anyways, so last stream yesterday, we of course did the Splatoon 3 Splatfest World Premiere as kind of the kickoff to the series, but now we're going to get into what's going to be easily the core meat of this little mini-series, and that is going through every single campaign in the series so far. So, the Splatoon 1 campaign, the Splatoon 2 campaign, and of course, Octo expansion. And we are here to officially kick that off by starting up on Splatoon 1, the original classic that started it all, released on May 29th in the West, I believe, 2015. And I can proudly say that I have been a Splatoon fan since day one. That's right, I pre-ordered the game, I got it day one. In fact, I still have my GameStop receipt that had a little code for the Smash Wii U, like a skin. Remember that? Remember in like the Splatoon 1 Direct, they were like, oh yeah, you're gonna be able to get Inkling skins if you pre-order the game at GameStop, I think. And that's the reason why I pre-ordered it at GameStop specifically. To be fair, I think I already pre-ordered most of my games back then at GameStop. Like Smash Wii U was GameStop, Splatoon was GameStop, Odyssey, Splatoon 2, Breath of the Wild for Wii U, because I didn't have a Switch at launch because I couldn't get one because, well, if you guys remember back like 5 years ago when like the first few months it was really hard to get a Switch, yeah. But yeah, for a good like 5 years, I like got all of my like Nintendo games from GameStop. But then the GameStop that I used to go to closed in 2018, so I believe the last so what was the last game I got? I think it was Odyssey. Because the only first party game I got in 2018, really, at least that was like a big game, was Smash Ultimate. But I got that from Amazon because I really wanted the special edition with the controller and stuff. But anyways, I'm getting off track. Point is, I've been a Splatoon fan since day one, and I hold Splatoon 1 in very high regard. I kind of mentioned this a little yesterday, but while I definitely like Splatoon 2, and it does a lot of things really well, there's just something about Splatoon 1. Maybe it's the nostalgia talking. I will admit, of all the things on the Wii U, it's probably the game I have the most nostalgia for. But, man, I don't know what it is. There's just something about Splatoon 1 that's really nostalgic to me. So I'm definitely looking forward to going back through the campaign, which, as you can probably guess, is my favorite campaign in the series, even though it's really not too different from the Splatoon 1 and 2 campaigns are pretty similar in how they work. The Octo expansion, of course, changed things up a little. Then, as for the new campaign, well, we'll just have to see when it comes out. But anyways, enough with the preamble here. So let's go ahead and jump into this. Now, of course, I cannot just go. So right now, I'm signed into my main account. So here we go. Here's the menu. And as you can see, we got Homebrew installed because, I mean, at this point, if you got a Wii U and you don't have Homebrew, you're doing something wrong. Especially when, you know, obviously, in light of course, upcoming shutdowns, where if you want to install, you know, games digitally, well, there's only one way you're going to be able to do it. But anyways, although I mainly have Homebrew on here for mods and like extra virtual console games. Like, for example, you see that GCNVC. Well, of course, the GameCube didn't support the Wii U at all, both via a virtual console way or via putting the disc in, at least by default. But if you have Homebrew on the Wii U, you can go into Wii mode on the Wii U with Homebrew, and you can actually put in GameCube discs and they'll boot. So you can add in physical GameCube backwards compatibility if you have Homebrew installed. But anyways, this is not a Homebrew video. There's plenty of videos out there if you want to know how to set up Homebrew on the Wii U. I mainly have it installed for, yeah, that GameCube backwards compatibility, extra virtual console stuff that the system didn't support by default, and also for Smash Wii U mods back when we were playing Smash Wii U in, you know, 2017, 2018, before Ultimate came out. But anyways, so Splatoon only has one save data, which means I cannot use my regular account, which is, of course, the one up in the corner with my me. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to make a new account. So I believe right now there's only like 3 accounts on here. So yeah, that's my account. This is my brother's account, and this is like a friend's account from forever ago. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to add a new user. We're not going to set up a Nintendo Network ID or anything, though, since, well, actually, wait, do we need a Nintendo Network ID? I don't think we do. I'm going to see if I can just skip a Nintendo Network ID. Because we're not going to be playing the online, we just want to do the single player, and I don't think you need a Nintendo Network ID for that. So, of course, because, of course, the Wii U is a two-screen system, you're not going to be able to see what I'm typing, is it's just going to show that proceed the setup with Wii U. Oh, okay, here we go. But yeah, so we're going to have to do this with Splatoon 2 as well, by the way. We're going to have to use a different account, but that's okay, though, because I already have, like, 4 accounts. I have, like, Logan589XP, which is my main account. Then I have Logan589UK, Logan589AU, and Logan589JP. Take a wild guess why all those exist. Yeah, it's so I can access the various eShops, which I haven't really used all that much because I haven't really had to, thanks to like the Switch being like region free and everything, and also the days of like Japan getting exclusive stuff or stuff before us is mostly past when it comes to Nintendo. But anyways. Okay, so choose registration method. I got a bunch of various Miis on here that you can't see, so sorry about that. I know there's like, I think there's like a homebrew application. Okay, I think there's like a homebrew application you can use to get like some kind of feed for the gamepad going without having to have yours like hardware modded like some people did. I know it's kind of like the 3DS. Like you could mod your 3DS to have a capture card, which would be like $200, or you could use that like homebrew application for like the new 3DSs where you can like stream it, and it won't be perfect, but it works. But I think there's something like that for the gamepad, but we're not going to use that right now. So let's see, we're going to just do, can I pick the Mii I normally use, even though it doesn't really matter what Mii I pick? No? Okay, we'll go with, I guess we'll go with this, my old school Mii. Yeah, see, this was my Mii back in like the Wii era. This was basically my original Mii, which was pretty stock, nothing too crazy. And then the one that I used, and the one I've been using for the last like 5, 6, 7 years. So you know how on Mii Maker on the Wii U, there's that function where it can like scan your face with the camera, and it'll like make a Mii based on that scan. Well, that's what the Mii I currently use on both Wii U and Switch is. It's from that Wii U camera scan. I think it looks pretty good. It's pretty accurate. But we're gonna use my original, like, you know, 2007, 2008 era Mii here, just so we have something for the account. Again, it doesn't matter, you know, Splatoon has nothing to do with Mii's, it just affects the icon, but yeah. Alright, yeah, link to Nintendo Network ID. Can I skip this part? Yeah, I do not want to do that, because we don't need to. Not now. Alrighty then. So then the name for the account is OG Logan, because it's my OG Mii. Yeah, so there it is. So you can see, so there's my original Mii, and there's like my newer Mii. How do I zoom in on this again? Yeah, let's go ahead and zoom in real quick. So yeah, here we go. So yeah, we got my main Mii over there on the left. We got my old Mii on the bottom. Then we got like JT, who's an old friend of mine, on the right. And then my brother's there on the top. Alrighty then. And of course, my menu is now completely and totally filled with everything, because nothing is in folders. So there's just a bunch of random stuff in here. What? There's notifications? Oh, I'm guessing it's going to be like the eShop, you know, is shutting down. Yeah, important eShop news. Yeah, as of late, yeah, all that stuff. Yeah, these credit cards, although you can. Also, however, if you link your Wii U account to your Switch account, you can still add funds for anyone that's curious. But new game from Nintendo. We are currently delivering Amiibo Tap Nintendo's Greatest Bits. I actually do remember that. Oh god, that was so long ago. Up until 2015. Yeah, this is totally recent news. New system update available. I doubt that. Yeah, it's just showing me a bunch of random stuff here. Okay. Enough with all that. Enough with all those outdated notifications that don't mean anything. Okay, here we go. Splatoon 1. Yeah, remember this original splash screen? Classic. This entire game is just an absolute classic. Okay, that's weird. I see the network. The network thing was just dying for a second. That's weird. So if the stream just like froze for a second, then that's why. Apologies. Okay. Inkling Girl, because I always use the Inkling Girl. I've always preferred the Inkling Girl because it's like come on, like she's the main character. Like Inkling Boy exists, but Inkling Girl is like the main Splatoon character, right? In all the games, 1, 2, and 3, you know. So yeah, we're gonna stick with that. We'll go with that. Okay, so I remember. So in the last stream, I was talking about how, oh, I don't actually know if the eye color thing was new or not. No, it is not new. It was in the first game, but it's more like, but there's more to it. There's more options. There's more layers. Like this is just like one side of the eye and not like the other side of the eye. So like, yeah, but we'll go with that. That's not gonna affect the campaign anyway, but yeah. Oh yeah, now we're gonna go through the original OG tutorial. Okay, so one thing that I really like about Splatoon 1 is the gamepad. Like Splatoon, like the gamepad for this game is great. This is probably one of the games that uses the gamepad the best, I would argue. Like it's not very gimmicky, like it's very functional, you know? We got the motion controls, it's very fast and fluid. I don't know if this is just me, but I feel like in Splatoon 2, when you turn with the motion controls and like a pro controller, it's just not as crisp and responsive, whereas this is like instantaneous. It's so fast and fluid. That's why, which is why I kind of wish, even though it was obviously never gonna happen, I really would have wished that like they made it so that like you could play Splatoon 2 with the gamepad, just so I could have like those like extra crisp controls, because I just really like playing this game with the gamepad. I mean, you can't play this game with anything but the gamepad, to be fair. I mean, there's that quote-unquote local multiplayer mode where you can use a pro controller, but pretty much it's gamepad only. But it works really well, and it's really crisp and fluid, and I wish that like Splatoon 2's like controls felt as responsive, because I feel like they don't. I don't know if that's just me, but that's something I've always kind of been a little bothered with, is that like the Splatoon 2 like motion controls just don't feel as crisp and responsive. I mean, they're totally fine, but like it's just this extra crispness and like instant response you get with the Splatoon 1 motion controls that I feel like is not there in Splatoon 2. Splatoon 3's motion controls felt pretty good, although I think they're better than Splatoon 2's, but I don't think they're as good as Splatoon 1's still. But then again, I've only played that game for a few hours, so once the game actually comes out, I'll be able to really determine if it's all that much different than Splatoon 2's or not. Because obviously, if it was exactly the same as Splatoon 2's, I wouldn't be surprised. But anyways. Alrighty then, so here we are, Inkopolis Square. That's something you don't see very often in Nintendo games. They never flash their logo in like modern games. I don't know if anyone's noticed it. Like they'll have it in the corner on like the title screen sometimes, but they never like flash it in a like Nintendo Presents kind of thing. I know that like at the beginning of Breath of the Wild it'll say Nintendo Presents, but it doesn't have the actual like logo. It's just like text. So I don't know. Like even Splatoon 2 doesn't have that. I wonder what happens if I try to go into a multiplayer match. I'm guessing it's going to pop up a screen that's like, please make a Nintendo Network ID. It's going to be my prediction. And there's where we need to go right there. Alrighty, here we are. Yeah, Inkopolis Square. Absolute classic location right here. Absolute classic location. Obviously the Miiverse stuff is long since dead. Let's see what happens if I try to go in. Is it gonna flash a thing on the screen? Yep, that's what I figured. Yeah, it won't let me do it unless I have a Nintendo Network ID. Alrighty, well that doesn't matter anyway. So let's just go ahead and hop in. Looks like the connection is stable. For some reason, the network was dropping frames a little while ago. For some reason, but anyway, it seems to be fine now. Immediately has the armor on. Another thing is the overworld music. Like this track, little like wow 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 beep 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 beep. Like that track is very iconic to me. I don't even remember the one that was in Splatoon 2. I think Splatoon 2 does have an overworld track for like the single player, but it's not nearly as memorable as this. It kind of goes back to the thing I was talking about yesterday of like, I think Splatoon 1 has like far more memorable music than Splatoon 2. Splatoon 2 has some good tracks, don't get me wrong, but I feel like on the whole the soundtrack just isn't nearly as good. But that's just me, you know. Alrighty then. Here we are, let's go. Man, I know I just talked about it, but man, the gamepad controls are so crisp and responsive. I love how good it feels in this game. Now, I haven't really decided whether or not I'm gonna go for 100%. For at least Splatoon 1, I'm gonna try and do that, because I've played through the Splatoon 1 campaign enough times that, like, I can probably do it without, like, much effort. Splatoon 2 and Octo Expansion are probably gonna be harder, though, since I've only really played through those campaigns once. I'm not trying to pronounce your name, but, hi. Yes, yeah, it does. It's a chill Asian track. I'm not sure if Asian is the right word I would call it, but yeah, it is a very, chill track, though. Now, since it has been a while, I don't exactly remember where all of the hidden items are, so I'm gonna need to kind of pay attention to that. Okay, no, the first one is up there. That I do remember. Okay, yeah, up here. Just said, by the way? Okay, cool. I'll call you that. That's a lot easier. What? Okay, there we go. Alrighty, so we already got that squared away, so that's good. I'm playing Cuphead, so I don't respond. Sorry. Nah, it's okay. I just appreciate that someone's watching this. The one thing about Splatoon 1 I know I've talked about in the past is how, like, Splatoon 1 to 2, there's actually a pretty substantial upgrade in graphics. You wouldn't really think about it. You wouldn't really think it's that big at first, but trust me, when you've played Splatoon 2 for like 200 hours like I have, and then you go back to Splatoon 1, you're like, wow, the graphics really are quite a bit better in 2. I mean, 1's not a bad-looking game, but obviously the limitations of the Wii U are there. But it's still a good-looking game. I mean, I'm playing this right now on a so, you know, we're playing, you know, this on actual hardware. You know, we're not playing this on CMU. We're playing this on actual Wii U hardware. And the game runs at 720p. And I'm playing this on a 4K monitor. And you know what? It still looks pretty good. I mean, you can tell it's 720p, but it holds up pretty well. To be fair, though, most of the Wii U games still hold up pretty well. Like, 3D World still looks good. Mario Kart 8 still looks amazing, but of course we have a Switch version. Smash Wii U is actually one of the few, if not the only, like, first-party games on Wii U that I know of that run at a full 1080 60, and it still looks great. Ultimate looks better, but Wii U is definitely no slacker when it comes to the graphics. It looks pretty good. Like, graphically speaking, Mario Kart 8 is better than Smash Wii U, but Smash Wii U still looks pretty good. So what are your thoughts on the test fire? And yes, it's a big difference in graphics. So Splatoon 3 is showing is showing the first to the shame. Oh yeah, actually, I think I did talk about the graphics in Splatoon 3 a little bit last time, but I can elaborate on that a little more. But anyways, let's get the first one out of the way. So what I think about the test fire, or well, technically speaking, it wasn't a test fire. It was a you know, global Splatfest premiere or whatever, but it was effectively like the test fire of like Splatoon 3. Because Splatoon 1 had the global test fire, and I was there for all of those. I played all of the original global test fires, even the ones that were at like 3 a.m. And I know I probably sound like a broken record, but I have to bring this up every single time I talk about the Splatoon 1 test fires. But remember how on the last test fire, like, Nintendo screwed up and it wouldn't work for like the last one, so they had to extend it another hour. Like, I still remember that all these years later. And the other reason why I remember it so well is because a friend of mine actually came over to my house for that last test fire. He was gonna like play it with me, but because it wasn't working, we played Black Ops 2 on the Wii U, and he recorded a little, like, 1-minute blippity-blip whatever video of us playing Black Ops 2 on the Wii U, and that was the first ever YouTube video I was in. So this was, you know, like early May 2015, before the game came out for, like, the last test fire. That old, like, video is, like, not public anymore, but I know it still exists. It's just unlisted on, like, on my friend's channel. But yeah, that was the first ever YouTube video I was ever in. And it wouldn't have happened if Nintendo didn't screw up with the servers on that last test fire. So in a weird way, I'm actually kind of glad that they screwed up, because, you know, that's what kind of, you know, because that was, you know, my first ever, it wasn't my first YouTube video, but it was the first video that I ever appeared in on YouTube. So, you know, that's a neat little, like, thing I always have to bring up whenever I talk about that. But anyways, yeah, but Splatoon 2 had 2 test fires. There was, like, the regular Splatoon 1 style test fire where you only had, like, 4 weapons and a couple of maps. That happened in, like, late March 2017. So this was basically right after the Switch came out. And I didn't have a Switch at launch. I didn't get a Switch until April. And because of that, I actually played Breath of the Wild. My first time playing Breath of the Wild was actually on Wii U because I couldn't get a Switch. I couldn't pre-order a Switch. But I couldn't get a Switch pre-ordered. So I just pre-ordered the Wii U version of Breath of the Wild, and I played that. And then I got the Switch version a month later when I got the Switch from a GameStop bundle, believe it or not, because that was the only way you could get one. And it came with, like, Breath of the Wild and the expansion pass, so it was all worth it, because it was all stuff I was going to buy anyway, but... Yeah, Alrighty then. We're just going along. But like I said, I have played through this campaign a number of times, so I can just go. I can just go, pretty much. Although once we get into the later levels, I'll probably struggle a little more trying to remember where some of the items are. Wait, what? Oh, I went in the wrong order. I went into the wrong one. It's not a big deal, but yeah, okay. So this is the second level. I skipped past it. But yeah, so I didn't get to play the first Splatoon 2, like, test fire, because it happened in late March before I was able to get a Switch. But I did play the second one, like, the global, like, Splatfest premiere that was, like, ice cream versus cake or whatever. I played that, and I actually did a stream of it, which, by the way, I actually put back up recently, just for the heck of it, because I still have it. The audio balancing on it isn't great, because it's from before I could figure out audio balancing, but it's there. For some reason, someone wants to watch it. Yeah, so I played all of the Splatoon 1 test fires, and I played the Splatfest World Premiere of Splatoon 2, but I did not play the regular test fire for Splatoon 2. And then, obviously, yesterday we played the Splatoon 3 test fire. But anyways, back to my thoughts on the Splatoon 3 Splatfest demo. So my main complaint with that demo was the fact that you couldn't rank up anything. Like, you were stuck at level 1, you couldn't get any gold, you couldn't buy any new clothes. Okay, buying new clothes is one thing, because obviously when there's a Splatfest going on, you always have the Splatfest, like, t-shirt. But I would have been cool if we could at least, you know, buy stuff. I mean, yeah, it's for a demo, nothing carries over, but I would have personally liked to be able to, you know, make some kind of progress, even if it was only temporary, because the only thing that ranked up in the Splatfest was your Splatfest rank. That was the only thing that went up. Your level stayed stationary, you didn't get any gold, you couldn't buy any new weapons, although, to be fair, they give you plenty of weapons, like, you know, like this, you know, this is not the old days of 4 weapons. Like, you know, in this, you know, the Splatoon 1 test fires were 4 weapons. The Splatoon 2 one that I didn't get to play was also 4. But I don't remember how many weapons they gave you for the Splatoon 2, like, Splatfest premiere. That might have been more weapons, but I know, but obviously in the Splatoon 3 one, they gave you, like, 26 weapons, including the new ones. Like, you got to try out the bow, you got to try out that other one that I really liked. Like, all of the main weapons were there, which was good. You know, they gave you plenty of variety to work with, at the very least. So, you know, props for that, I suppose. But yeah, I would have liked to be able to rank up, even if it wouldn't have really mattered in the end. But aside from that, it was pretty fun. I'm not entirely sure what so for the tricolor Splatfests, where it's like a 2v2v4. There's, like, this thing called, like, Ultra something, and because I was on Team Scissors, I was on the red team, which was apparently I actually don't know who the winner was. I know they announced the winner, like today or whatever. I actually don't know who the winner was, but at least at the time, I think Team Scissors was winning, and because of that, I would be placed on I would always be on the team with 4 people, and then, like, yeah, and then, like, rock and paper were, you know, the blue and the yellow, and because of that, I never got to, like, grab the ultra, like, thingy or whatever, so I'm not entirely sure what that was about, but yeah, it was fun. That was fun. Okay, so about the graphics. Now, when Splatoon 3 was first announced, one of the big reasons I was excited for it, aside from the fact that it was, hey, new Splatoon game sooner than we expected, because I think everyone on the planet expected them to wait until the Switch 2, until, like, 2024, when, like, the new console is going to come out, which I think is going to be the Switch 2, and it's going to be backwards compatible and all that stuff. But, But I was expecting, you know, Splatoon 3 to be on the next system. But no, they were like, nope, we're going to do it now. And I mean, to be fair, Splatoon 2 is 5 years old, and I don't play Splatoon, and I haven't played Splatoon 2 on a regular basis in a while anyway, so I'm absolutely, you know, I was not about to say no to more Splatoon content, but it was a little weird that they didn't just save it for the next system. But the big thing that got me excited was, hey, since we're going to have a new Splatoon game on the Switch, that means it's going to be Switch Pro enhanced. We're going to be able to play it at DLSS, you know, 4K or 1440p. It'll be higher resolution. It's going to be great. And obviously that was back in the day when everyone thought the Switch Pro was going to happen, and I was very much on the Switch Pro train. I wanted a Switch Pro to happen because I have a 4K monitor. I want to be able to play Nintendo games at higher resolutions, and the Switch Pro with, you know, the rumored support of DLSS, you know, DLSS 4K would have been pretty awesome. But of course, the Switch OLED happened, and that pretty much killed the Switch Pro dead in the water, and you know, it is what it is. But and so when the Switch Pro was deconfirmed, that kind of killed my hype for Splatoon 3 a little, because it's like, oh, okay, now it's just gonna look the same as Splatoon 2. Now, to be clear, Splatoon 2 still looks good. But, you know, obviously having a graphical increase would have been, like, cool. At least, you know, that's what I thought back then. Because from all the trailers and stuff we saw up until release, pretty much, it seemed like the graphics were basically just Splatoon 2's graphics. Which made sense, because, I mean, it's on the same system as Splatoon 2. I wasn't expecting a big jump like we had going from 1 to 2. You know, 1 was on the Wii U, 2 was on the Switch. And while the Switch is not massively more powerful than the Wii U, it is more powerful, so it made sense that we had that noticeable jump. But Splatoon 2 to 3, without a Switch Pro, I expected the graphics to be pretty much the same. And from what I played in that test fire yesterday, I would say that was mostly true. I say mostly true because I did notice some noticeable graphical increases, particularly on the weapon models, because the weapon models in Splatoon 2 definitely had quite a bit, yeah, the weapon models in Splatoon 2, they definitely had, you know, a bit, they definitely had some polygon counts, we'll just say that. Like, the polygon counts on the weapons in the first game especially weren't all that high, but in the second game they look better. They look better in the second game. Yeah, I completely forgot to use this cannon, by the way, I'm an idiot. I just tried going up the wall like that, but in Splatoon 2, they definitely look a bit better. They do look quite a bit better, but you can still see, like, that raw polygon count that Splatoon 2 and 1 had. But in Splatoon 3, you can tell that the weapon models have been upgraded noticeably. They look a lot more smooth and less jagged, and also they have, like, better shadows and stuff. So, like, the weapons definitely have had a noticeable increase in Splatoon 3. Now, as for the actual, like, game itself overall, I don't think it looks that much different. I think overall, it's pretty much Splatoon 2 visually, just a bit more refined. But so I disagree with the whole Splatoon 3 puts Splatoon 2 to shame when it comes to the graphics, at least. I disagree with that. Because it's mostly just Splatoon 2 but refined. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, Splatoon 2 looks great and Splatoon 3 looks great, but obviously, you know, if we had the Switch Pro, that would have been pretty cool. But yeah, overall the graphics are pretty good though. Also, the game ran at pretty much a solid 1080p, which was pretty awesome. That's probably the biggest increase over Splatoon 2 that I've seen so far, because Splatoon 2 ran with a dynamic resolution where it would be like 810p, 860p, stuff like that. And then, like, in rare circumstances, it would actually go up to a full 1080p. But all of the matches in Splatoon 3 I did, as far as I could tell, were crystal clear native 1080p, and it looked fantastic. But to be fair, that might just be for the Splatfests, because in Splatoon 2, I know a lot of the Splatfests would actually run at 1080p. Whereas, like, the regular maps would, like, during regular matches, it would be lower. That might sound, like, really weird, like, why would a Splatfest affect the resolution? But I'm telling you, at least on, like, the Shifty Station maps, it would be 1080p. But on any of the regular city maps, it would be like 860p. It was like really weird. That may still be the case. I don't know, because we haven't played any of like the regular stages yet. We've only played the Splatfest versions at night that all run at a crisp 1080p. So, yeah, I'm not really sure about that. But point is, Splatoon 3 looks good, but it is a minor upgrade from Splatoon 2 when it comes to the graphics. But it still looks good, so that's what matters. And I just got wrecked right there. I stayed up 24 hours playing the Splatoon 3 test fire, and goddamn Scissor got robbed. Yeah, I have no idea who won, by the way. I didn't check. I'm guessing it's not Scissor, if you're saying that, though. Oh, I just realized I haven't grabbed the item yet. Where is it? I think it's off to the side somewhere. Where is it? Yeah, I played Splatoon and said NA, and I assume you mean like North America, because it lets you pick the splat. That's another thing that's different in Splatoon 3, by the way, is you can pick what region you're in. You couldn't do that in the previous games. In the previous games, you were hard locked to whatever, like, you know, if you bought the US version of the game, you're locked into the US region, stuff like that. That's changed with Splatoon 3, which is kind of cool, but anyways, where is it? I don't see it anywhere. It's gotta be off the edge somewhere. I just don't see it. But anyways, I played something else when Splatoon 2 came out and started at the end of the updates. Oh, okay, so you got into Splatoon 2. You got into Splatoon 2 later on. Like, how late? Like, 2018? Like, late 2018, 2019, I assume? Like, that's because, you know, like, the last, like, new stage was added in 2018. And then the last, like, weapons and the final Splatfest was 2019, so I assume late 2018, like, 2019 is my assumption. Anyways, yeah, I have no idea where the heck... Actually, maybe we get it once we beat the boss. That might be what it is, actually. Yeah, you get it when you beat the boss, okay. I don't know why, I just thought it would maybe be around the perimeter, because I know some games will do that with, like, boss fights and hidden stuff. They'll, like, put it around the perimeter or something. Alrighty then, so we got our first kind of section finished right there. Alrighty, I guess World 2. I'm not sure if they're actually called Worlds. I don't think they're called Worlds, but, you know, we're in the second part of the world, so close enough. I want to get all these open first. Come on! There we go. think that's all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, 5? Oh, hold on. I see where the last one is. I see where it is. There it is. I mean, it doesn't really matter what order we go in, but I want to try and go in order if we can. So where's the first one? Can I bring up, like, a map? Oh, yeah, we can... I forget, we can upgrade stuff like this. We're not gonna do it. We're not gonna do that yet. Actually, no, I think this is the... Yeah, because I think 4 is the boss fight, so this is 5. Alrighty, then. Why are this... For some... In this game, like, the sponges, when they're filled up with ink and you can see, like, the reflections off them, they look really good. Just trying to make sure that I'm not missing anything here. Nah, they wouldn't put it this early on. They wouldn't put it this early on. Oh yeah, you can like, yeah, do that and they'll like drip ink and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, like the reflections on the ink in the Splatoon games are like always something that I think really elevates the visuals a lot. Is those like really nice reflections. Oh yeah, speaking of Splatoon 1, you want to know something I think I've always talked about when it comes to Splatoon 1? Is how, like, in Splatoon 1, when you played, like, ranked battle and you do, you know, Splat Zones or Rainmaker and whatever, the Japanese players were ruthless. The Japanese players were, like, really good. They would destroy you. If you were on the opposing team, you pretty much lost. I remember that was a big thing back in Splatoon 1. In Splatoon 2, though, not really. I mean, you don't run into Japanese players in Splatoon 2 nearly as much as you do in Splatoon 1. Like, in Splatoon 1, Japanese players were like 60% of the player base. Like, a lot of the Splatoon 1 player base was Japanese, so you ran into Japanese players quite often. In Splatoon 2, it's become a lot more rare, although as the game has gotten older and as, like, the more, like, casual players have left, I have started to notice more and more Japanese players come in, but they're not as ruthless as they were in Splatoon 1. Just something I've kind of noticed, you know? But yeah, Splatoon, is extremely big in Japan. Like, you know how people talk about how Dragon Quest is, like, really big in Japan? Well, Splatoon is kind of like that. Not to the same extent, but, like, Splatoon's, like, main player base is actually Japan. Like, they've done all those, like, concerts with the Squid Sisters and Off the Hook. Like, there's tons of merchandise, there's mangas, all kinds of stuff that Splatoon gets in Japan that we don't get here, because it's that much bigger over there. And it was like that, especially for the first game. Like I said, a lot of Splatoon 1's player base was, like, Japan. Splatoon 2, it evened out a lot more, because the Switch, you know, because unlike the Wii U, the Switch was actually successful. And there was, like, way more people playing Splatoon 2 than the first game was. So there were a lot more Western players in Splatoon 2 than there were in 1, which is why, again, the Japanese players kind of fell into the background in Splatoon 2, I feel, up until, like, more recently. But, yeah. Yeah, if you go on, like, the Nintendo Japan YouTube account, a lot of, like, the videos with millions of views are Splatoon videos. That just kind of goes to show how big that series is over there, especially with the first game. But, okay, so we obviously missed one, so let's go ahead and find it. Where is it? Oh, there it is. I think I might have to fall off for this one. Okay, now we gotta go back. Oh, that wasn't close enough. Oh, what? So I gotta start from the beginning just to get this. Okay, well, I guess we gotta do it from the beginning. It's not a big deal, but... Okay. Okay, so I think we have. Okay, I think I know what I'm supposed to do. I need to explode. There we go. No! Sorry if I destroyed your ears. Woomy intensifies. Oh, dang it. Oh, whatever. We made it. Let me go ahead and change the capture card settings real quick, because I think it's too saturated right now, because I'm trying to use XRGB, but the Wii U doesn't support... Oh my god. The Wii U doesn't support full range RGB. It just does limited. So when I'm trying to use XRGB, it's kind of like saturating it. So let's go ahead and put that on limited. Wait, is that making it more saturated than it otherwise was? Hold on. I think that might have just made it more saturated. There we go. So we're going to put on YUI2. There we go. I think that's more proper. Yeah, I think it was too saturated earlier. So we'll just leave that YUI2. Which I don't really want to do, but it probably won't be a huge deal for a game like this. And besides, the compression of the stream will probably smooth out whatever chroma subsampling is there. Anyways. Okay, so that was... So, okay, so it turns out there is a 4. I did miss a 4. That's 7. That's 6. This 4? This is 4. I mean, I know it doesn't really matter what order we go in. Oh, shoot. Oh, yeah, this track is a banger. This is an absolute banger of a track right here. This is probably my favorite track in the entire campaign, aside from, of course, Calamari Inktation. I forget how you actually say it. You know, like, this is my favorite, like, track outside of that one in the entire Splatoon 1 campaign. It's so good. Making sure there's nothing I'm missing. Oh, dang it. Oh, there it is. That's where it is, right there. But that wasn't it? Do I know it's around here somewhere? There it is. Meow, 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 meow. Yeah, gamepad battery. Okay, I need to plug that in. Hold on. Oh no, dang it. I touched the HDMI cable. Ah, dang it. Hold on. So it's wrapped around this thing over here. I'm gonna have to move it. Hopefully I don't unplug the Wii U in the process of trying to do this. Oh my god. Alrighty, we're back. And I unplugged the Wii U. Did I? Okay, I didn't unplug it, I think. Oh, man. Now, thankfully, we should be fine, because it saves every time you beat a level, so we should be okay. Yeah, okay. I got the gamepad charger in a decent position, so I'm just going to have it plugged in. And we'll do that. Alrighty then, okay. Turn that on. For context, I'm actually using my original, like, 2012 Wii U HDMI cable. And unfortunately, it's not in the best shape. It's definitely has its rough times, and it's barely taped at, like, the two ends that matter. But it still works. So I'm gonna keep using it until it stops working. Yeah, if I, like, mess with it on the back end, right now it's doing all right. Maybe I just pulled a little too hard, or maybe that was just from me. Oh, whatever. Wait a second. Wait. Which account did I sign into? I think it signs into my main account by default, so I need to go back. Yep. Hold on, I signed it. Yeah, it's on the wrong account. Spot Pass. Remember Spot Pass? Spot Pass was a thing on the Wii U, but I think it was more of a... I don't remember Spot Pass really doing much on the Wii U. It was mainly a 3DS thing where Spot Pass and Street Pass were like the big things. Alrighty. Oh, wait, hold on. It didn't make me watch the news. Oh, I know why. Because I don't have the Nintendo Network ID connected. I can't play multiplayer, and because I can't play multiplayer, there's no reason for it to show me any of that. Okay, never mind. There is a thing on the map, actually, that shows me... okay. Okay, so this is the one we just played, I think, right? Okay, so... what's the next one? I believe the next one is over here. Yeah, here we go, number 6. Alrighty. We're back in action. I'm guessing that the secret thing is going to be underneath one of these. Yep, what did I say? Alrighty then. That was pretty quick. But like I said before, like I'm gonna be able to blitz through these pretty quickly. So you wanna know one aspect of Splatoon I've never really been all that invested in? It's the lore. Because I know, like, you know how people meme on, like, oh, Kirby has, like, really deep, dark lore, you know, stuff like that? Well, Splatoon has, like, the same thing, but I've never really paid attention. Like, obviously all these, like, sunken scrolls and stuff, like, they'll tell you, like, tons of, like, lore about the series, and, like, I've never really paid attention to any of that stuff. I've just never really been invested in the lore of, like, really most series I don't really care about, that, like, do lore, I don't really care about lore all that much. Dang it. But yeah, I know lore is like a big thing in this series. I've just never really paid attention to it all that much. I just get the sunken scrolls for the sake of completeness more than anything else. I believe, hold on. Okay, so, no, there's one other one. Okay, so it's the one over here. So, one thing I have not really decided upon yet is whether or not I'm going to be streaming the Splatoon 3 campaign. It might seem like really obvious that I would do that. I mean, if you're going to stream all the others, you might as well do the Splatoon 3 one, right? I'm not sure. A part of me wants to, because let's be real here. Even though I like the Splatoon campaigns, they're not the kind of campaigns that you need to experience on your own, because I mean, they're just not that kind of, you know, it's not like there's some in-depth story with, like, spoilers and stuff. Like, no, that's not what, the Splatoon campaigns are not like that at all. They're not story-based. So it's not important for me to, like, play it on my own. But at the same time, I kind of want to, but I don't know. Again, well, you know, to be determined on whether or not I'm going to stream the Splatoon 3 campaign or not. I might not. But the current plan is Splatoon 1 campaign, Splatoon 2 campaign, Octo expansion, and then like 1 or 2 streams where we just like play Splatoon 1 and 2 in like the days leading up to, you know, release. I was thinking 1 stream for Splatoon 1 and 1 stream for Splatoon 2. I figured that would be, you know, more than enough, you know. Ooh, just barely. Oh yeah, we haven't had upgraded armor yet. I don't think we've reached a level that's had that yet. Well, up until now, obviously. I can't tell if it's still saturated or not. I think it's still being saturated, even though I have it set to YUI2. I don't know, I'm gonna have to check on that real quick. Let me see. Yeah, it's set to YUI2 limited range, so it shouldn't... But hold on, but that makes it... Wait, what? Oh god, now I'm confused. If I put it on XRGB... Okay, so YUI2 full is what I'm supposed to do to get the image to look correct. For the Wii U. For any other console, you wouldn't do this. But because the Wii U only does limited range and not full range like all the other consoles do, you gotta do this to make it look correct and not overly saturated. So we'll go ahead and do that, I suppose. Okay. So now this one, so even though I just talked about how I'm not really all that interested in, like, the sunken scrolls and stuff like this is kind of cool, like a little thing that shows you, like, hey, here's like all the different color combinations you can get. And you want to know what's funny? Every like single like notable color combination is here. So we got, of course, the Splatoon 1 color scheme of blue and orange up there. Then right below it we have the Splatoon 2 color scheme of pink and green, and then right below that we have the Splatoon 3 color scheme of yellow and like a purple-ish. I'm not sure if purple is the right term for that, but you know what I'm trying to say, right? Like all of the color schemes for all 3 games are like right there, which is kind of interesting. It's probably just a coincidence, but all of those color schemes you do see are the color schemes you'll see pop up in the multiplayer, and each game has their own set color schemes that will appear and all that stuff. And I'm sure Splatoon 3 is going to add in some new color schemes. I remember, like, in Japan for the first game, there was a Splatfest that had like I think it was like milk tea, because Japan got a lot of like Splatfests that we didn't, like topics for Splatfests that we didn't, and one of them was like coffee versus like milk tea, and like the color of the ink was white, and of course everyone was making jokes about how white ink and whatnot, and then I don't think we got a Splatfest with that color scheme until Splatoon 2. I know Splatoon 2 in the West did get at least one Splatfest where it had like a white or like a gray, like a light gray themed, like I think like the final Splatfest had this. Didn't like wasn't Pearl's like ink color scheme like white-ish or gray? I don't know. It's been like a few years, but anyways, just a little kind of a fun fact of sorts I thought I'd bring up is how like, yeah, people are jumping game about white ink, white ink in Splatoon 1 for that one like exclusive Splatfest that we didn't get, and then Splatoon 2 we actually got one that had like a white-ish ink, you know. Alright, so this is our first Octoling mission. And we're on Kelp Dome, which, by the way, so one thing about the campaign that's kind of interesting, I think this was only for the first game, but in the first game, there were a bunch of multiplayer maps that weren't out at launch that were in the campaign. Like, for example, Kelp Dome, because, you know, this is Kelp Dome, right? Well, Kelp Dome wasn't in the launch game. That was added later. I think that was added in, like, August. Or, like, July. It's like a few months after the game came out. But it was in the campaign. Also, Bluefin Depot was in the campaign, even though it wasn't in the multiplayer until later. So it's kind of interesting, you know, how we had stuff like that. Where there were multiplayer stages that were already made, but they were only in the campaign until months later. So that's kind of weird. I don't think Splatoon 2 did that. I think Splatoon 2, like, all of the campaign, like, I don't even remember. Were there Octoling missions in the second game? I could be wrong, but I don't think we had any Octoling anything in Splatoon 2 until the Octo expansion. I don't think there was any Octolings in the base campaign, but I could be wrong because I've only played the base campaign like once, really. Like, I've only, like, played it through all the way one time, and that was back when it first came out. And that was 5 years ago, so you'll have to excuse me for my lack of Octoling knowledge in that particular case. I'll probably just look it up in a second anyway, but... Okay, so where is it? Over there, maybe? Nope, that's not it. Yeah, where's the sunken scroll? I mean, this is a multiplayer map, so it's not like there's a ton of spaces for them to hide it. Where the heck is it? I don't see any orange boxes anywhere, but there's clearly one still out there. Ah, there it is. Hiding behind that. Alrighty then, so now we just got one more regular stage for this world. Then we can go off to the next boss fight. Okay, so here we are on another multiplayer stage. This time, of course, the iconic classic Urchin Underpass, which it still blows my mind that we didn't get Urchin Underpass in Splatoon 2. They put it in Mario Kart 8, but not Splatoon 2, even though it's like the most iconic like level in the entire series. Like, how did they not put it in Splatoon 2? I really hope that gets rectified in Splatoon 3. They've already been bringing back fan favorites like My Resort, which, by the way, is my favorite like stage in the entire series is My Resort, so I'm really happy they're bringing it back. Although, from what I played in the Splatfest, it looks like they've changed the layout a bit. But still, it's cool to see it come back. But I really hope that they bring back more like of the iconic Splatoon 1 stages, like Salt Spray Rig, for example, and Urchin Underpass, because Urchin Underpass needs to be in Splatoon 3. It should have been in 2, and it definitely needs to be in 3. Oh, wait a second. No, sorry. I'm wrong. This is not Urchin Underpass. This is the tutorial area. My guy can't jump. Alrighty then. Get closer. There we go. Alrighty then, World 2 boss. Okay, now, I feel like this one is on the edge. I know I said for the last one, oh, I guess just get it for the boss fight, but I swear this one is actually on the edge. It's probably just from the boss. Oh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so all the bosses, all the bosses. Okay. There's DJ Octavio. We haven't seen Callie or Marie yet. Do they not come in until, like, the last mission? Forget if they come in, if you find out about them earlier or not. I think maybe in like World 5 you learn about them. Like how they're Agents 1 and 2. I forget when exactly that happens. Alrighty, World 3. So there's 6 worlds. So this is probably going to be the last one we'll do for this stream, and then next time we'll do the last 3 worlds. Or last 3 areas, whatever you want to call them. Worlds areas, you get what I'm trying to say. I mean, if we really wanted to, we could probably do everything in one stream, but I think it'd be better if I split it into 2 parts, personally. So we're probably going to do that, but we'll see. I feel like I'm missing one. Oh wait, hold on, I think I see it. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's probably all of them. Okay, so the next one would be 10. We might as well start upgrading stuff, right? Okay, so which one is 10? Again, I know it doesn't really matter that much, but... Is it just me, or am I zipping across the line faster now? Okay, here we go. Up here's the song again. Absolute classic track. Yeah, it's weird. I'm looking at this area, and I swear this was a Splatoon 2 area. This looks like a place from Splatoon, like the Splatoon 2 campaign. I guess I'm just remembering wrong. Maybe there really is a place that looks like this in the 2 campaign as well. Making sure I'm not missing anything. I think it's over here. I think it's behind, like, one of these. Yeah. See how it wraps around? Oh my god, I can't hit anything. Oh, dang it. Yeah, the Inkzooka they brought back in Splatoon 3, but it doesn't work the same way it does in this game. That's 12. That's 14. Okay, here's 11. Oh. Oh, hold on, there it is. I was gonna say, I know there's something here. Okay, hold on, let me see if I can time it. Yeah. Yeah, you basically just kind of do this and be like, where's the path? Where's the path? Hey. Oh, dang it. I thought I was gonna just drop to my doom right there. Okay, so you know how I said earlier, I'm not sure if we're going to make this a two-parter or not. Like, I wanted to do it a two-parter, but I was thinking maybe we'll just do the whole thing in one go. Well, I can now officially say we're going to make it a two-parter, because I have something I'm going to have to do later, so we're not going to have time to do all of it in one go anyway. But that's okay, because like I said, that was kind of my original plan anyways, to have it in two parts. You know, the first 3 worlds, or first 3 areas, in this stream, and then we'll do the next 3 areas and Octavio in the next stream, which will probably be tomorrow, but we'll see what happens. Hold on, I went through that a little too... Oh, I was gonna say, I know there's gotta be something here. I went through that a little too quickly for there to be nothing here. I thought it was gonna be a jump portal. Yeah, I'm too lazy to look at the gamepad. I'm just gonna figure it out, basically. 13. Apologies, I'm not really saying all that much, by the way, at the moment. But I did plenty of talking yesterday in the Splatoon 3 stream, so I'm kind of out of stuff to really talk about right now. So apologies, but yeah. Good news is, well, almost fell off right there. The stream's been pretty stable so far. Earlier on, there was some weird dips for some reason, but everything seems to be more or less stable now. But I know yesterday, in the Splatoon 3 stream, Jay was mentioning how there were, like, not lag spikes, but there were, like, instances where the stream would kind of, like, freeze or something. Something along those lines, which was a little concerning. I did see it drop down to orange. I did see OBS drop to orange at one point, so I knew that there was at least something going on at one point, but so far this one seems to be mostly okay, so that's good. Like last stream, I'm doing this at 15 megabits, not 18 like I would normally do for a 1440p stream. I'm just doing 15 because I know for a fact my internet can handle that, because like I mentioned yesterday, my internet is like it's like 400 down, 20 up. I mean, the 20 up is more 22, 23 up as opposed to like a strict 20. So there is some leeway. So the highest I can realistically go is like 18 megabits, which is perfect because 18 megabits is what YouTube's 1440p streams max out at. So that's pretty much perfect. But the problem is, last stream, I started at 18 megabits, and I saw the network die for a second. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to lower it to 15 and not have to think about it. So we're just doing it at 15 right now. It's not a big deal. It's still going to look pretty good, but yeah. I wonder if that network issue was because I am running a beta version of OBS at the moment. Like I said last time, I'm using OBS, the version 28 beta, specifically release candidate 2, which, to be fair, is probably pretty close to the final version, but still. Aha! Oh, dang it, I just barely missed. Oh, dang it. Oh, whoa, I almost fell off right there. Alrighty then, we just got one more level, well, one more regular level to do anyway, until we get to the boss, and then that'll be it for the stream. We'll officially be at the halfway mark. Okay, so now we're on Blackbelly Skatepark. Another classic stage, but this one is in Splatoon 2 now. Both of the launch Splatoon 1 maps. Yeah, Urchin Underpass is not into. Salt Spray Reg is not into. Blackbelly Skatepark is. Walleye Warehouse is, and Arowana Mall is. So 3 out of 5. But one of those, like, 2 that you've missed is like the series signature stage. I think that's kind of a mess up right there. Again, especially when it's in Mario Kart, for crying out loud, but not actual Splatoon 2. It's just weird. Which is again why I'm hoping that'll be rectified with Splatoon 3 at some point. It's not confirmed yet, of course, but considering that they're bringing back stages like Mai Resort and whatnot, it gives me hope that Urchin Underpass will be is very much in the pipeline, you know, hopefully. Hopefully sooner rather than later, but obviously we'll have to see. What? Where is it? Alrighty. Wait, what? I can't automatically just hop to it? Wait, there's another one? There's another one I've missed? Cool. Okay, never mind. I guess we have one more. And here's Bluefin Depot. Again, this was not in the base game. This was added in, like, August, I think, or September. Actually, no. I think this was a July. I think this came out in July. No, Hammerhead Bridge was August. This was July. There it is. There we go. There we go. I still can't teleport to it, but at least I've got that. I do not remember how this boss goes, like, at all. Okay, I know what's supposed to happen. You're supposed to get him to fall in the ink. There we go. So now we got clear spots that we can't put ink on. Barely avoided that. Alrighty then, there we go. I guess they do mention Agents 1 and 2. At that point, okay. Alrighty then, so here's, what, area 4? Actually, no, is it even... Wait. Wait a second, there's only 5 areas. Okay, so I guess I got my area thing wrong. Alrighty then, so I guess we have 2 more areas and the boss. I guess I wasn't paying attention. But yeah, alrighty then. So that was pretty quick. We did that, what, 2 hours to get through, like, the first 3 areas? So yeah, we're kind of going through this pretty good. I'm liking the progress. So yeah, I guess that's going to be it for that. So let's go ahead and head back to Inkopolis, make sure it saves. Alrighty then, so... that's going to be that for today. So, thank you, Sed, for being here. It was nice talking with you. And to anyone else that watched this at some point, either live or after the fact, because, of course, this is going to be going on after the fact, then thank you for watching as well. Yeah, this account doesn't have an Internet Network ID. I'm using a secondary account, like I said earlier, at the moment. But I'll go ahead and switch over to my main account just for this quick little end bit, just for the heck of it. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and yeah, stay tuned for part 2, which will probably be tomorrow. That's where we're going to be doing the final 2 areas and the final boss, and we'll be wrapping up the Splatoon 1 campaign, and then we will move on to the Splatoon 2 campaign. So, once again, thank you everyone for watching, and with that being said, this is Logan59XP, and I'll see you guys next time.